Hi, my name's Edwin Cook and I've been building flat pack furniture professionally since 2004. Over the past 15 years I have learned an awful lot and I have seen an awful lot. I've been asked to come to sort out problems where someone hasn't known what they're doing and made a mess of it, whether that's a person who thought they could build it themselves or they've hired someone in who thought they could do it. And I've seen many horror stories. I've also always had this problem where it's difficult for me to distinguish myself from people that aren't as experienced as me and don't know as much about assembling furniture as I do. I'm confident in what I do and I know I do things properly and to the best of my ability. But there are, as in all trades, some rogue tradesmen out there who really don't know what they're doing and aren't doing things properly. There's a whole series of safety issues surrounding assembling furniture which some people overlook. And what I'm trying to do here with this system is put some sort of qualifications in place to actually distinguish people who know what they're doing and are reliable and trustworthy from those that don't. Unfortunately, there are no City and Guilds, no qualifications whatsoever in flat pack assembly. Now, at first glance you might think, well, why should there be? Because all you need to do is follow the instructions, build it, job done. Well, you do, and it is really that simple in some cases. However, what I found is sometimes the instructions are absolutely appalling and illogical in the way they suggest you put something together, because you'd never do that it's just totally illogical the way they're doing it. And other times, it's very easy for people to overlook a critical safety feature that's been put into some furniture. Some very simple things that if you don't know them, you might think, oh, that'll do, and you don't understand why that particular thing has been done. So what I'm trying to do is provide all that background knowledge. I've trawled through all the British standards, I've looked through the health and safety legislation, I've looked through various acts that affect what I do in my job, and I've collated all that together and put together a system so that people can actually learn, can actually prove that they know what they're doing and they're competent in what they're doing. Things like Trustpilot and people's own reviews, feedback on Google Plus or anything like that, Facebook, etc. But that's an opinion really based on whether the customer liked the person and thought the work was done properly. Now, if the assembler has actually cut a corner and not done something properly and left a piece of furniture dangerous, and you're not aware of that, you could still give him some good feedback. So reviews aren't exactly the best method of doing it. Chest of drawers with these types of hinges in that look like that. You've seen those everywhere. Basically, let's get a bit further back. Not that one, that one. As soon as you tilt it a little bit, they all start coming. And once they start coming open, the unit tips up and they all come open, the whole thing falls over. Now, imagine you're a small child and there's something on top of the chest of drawers you want to reach, and you climb up, you can pull the whole thing down on top of yourself and be crushed underneath it. And that's what's happened. The way around it, as far as IKEA are concerned, is to attach the item to the wall. And this is why all their chest of drawers come with a bracket to attach them to the wall. Now, not many assemblers are aware of this, not many parents are aware of this. It has been in the media, but people aren't aware of it. And so some guy comes round to your house, builds one of these mountain chests of drawers and says, oh, that's not necessary, you don't need it for something that small. Well, that could result in the death of your child. And you wouldn't know that. You'd be confident in the person, he'd be confident in you, and you just leave that chest of drawers there, put a telly on top of it, which makes it even worse, because you raise the centre of gravity of the unit, so when it does tip, it's more unstable and it's more likely to fall. So we've got some stuff on the health and safety page where you can see these videos and actually see what's happening. But anyhow, this is why I put this all together. So what is our badge system? Our badge system is very simple. We've got four assembly levels. There's a registered assembler who's passed some basic tests and sat some basic courses so they know the basics of providing a flat pack assembly service. We've then got a training course that they can sit, which covers the tools you need, some tips and tricks on how to assemble furniture, how components work, and some methods of work to avoid making mistakes, as well as how to manage customers and do the job in a comprehensive and rounded manner. It's an absolutely wonderful course. I'd say so, I've written it myself. And we've also got some experience tests. These tests show that the assembler that sat the test is familiar with the products that they are assembling. So there's a general assembly test, there's a test on IKEA, there's a test on IKEA's flagship product, the Pax wardrobe, there's a test on John Lewis furniture, Very furniture and Argos furniture. And if you pass all those tests, you must have a good knowledge of assembling flat pack furniture. Certainly a lot of experience, because you couldn't pass the tests otherwise. It's simple questions like, what is this component? What does it do? What item of furniture is this component used on? You only know that if you built a lot. So those are the experienced ones. On top of that, we've also added some customer feedback, and we will go out and inspect jobs that these assemblers have done. And when we go out and assess the job, we'll give it a score out of 100, and provided it meets our standards, that person can then become a certified assembler, and that's our top rated level of assembly. So you become a registered one first, then you can do the training course if you want. It's not applicable. I'm going to teach an experienced assembler how to suck eggs, so it's not mandatory that. Then they can show their experience by their product knowledge, and then we'll assess one of the jobs they've done to get the top mark. So that's how it all works. So there's 4 main badges there. Now, in order to get each badge, you just sit a little test or do something very small each time, and once you've got 5 of these things together, you get the badge. So there's a lot of smaller badges that you get that combine to form the bigger badges.